So today is kind of a double feature if I get through this. This one I don't think should take too long. But the theme is monochrome handhelds, and also I guess obscure handhelds, because we're not on the Game Boy today, we're on the Bandai Wonderswan. Now the impressive thing is that on this system that is a handheld and sort of was a contemporary of the Game Boy Color, we have full voice acting. Not full. We have some voice acting. Isn't that impressive? Some voice acting. Okay, just pulling my stream up here. Yep, chat's good. Hello, Gibbon. Welcome. Oh gosh, whoops. Hang on. Damn it. Ah. Cool, dude. I know how to stream. So, this is Rainbow Islands: Putty's Party. It's a sequel to Rainbow Islands, which itself is sort of a spin-off to the Bubble Bobble franchise. Yes, Gibbon is yarring away. He's become a pirate with a peg leg now. Since he's broken his foot, he's invested in some kind of knee-based crutch thing, which is a cool idea and also makes him look like a rugged sea dog. So anyway, I don't know what these people are saying because I haven't been reading, and also my grasp of Japanese is a bit shaky. Oh, she's going something... I saw the kanji for island, which you could guess from the title, but anyway. So this was a game on the Bandai Wonderswan, which was... well, I guess I'll talk about it more later, but the important thing for now is that I'm playing in vertical mode. The Wonderswan had two configurations you could hold it in. It was this widescreen thing, but then there were extra buttons on it so you could flip it up and yeah, if games supported it, they could have a mode where certain games had levels that were vertical and horizontal, but certain games were entirely in vertical, like this one. Now we can hear there, like I said, there is some voice acting. Are you prepared for some voice acting? There are two voiced characters, and I have credits for them here. Okay, so that's the jingle. Okay, here's the title screen. I'll talk more about all that other stuff later. We'll get the game started first of all. Taito owns the copyright. Tony, I said that in jest, but if this is actually going to happen, I guess I'll have to work out what Franck's voice will sound like. Anyway, yeah, as it says, in another story. You can hear the voice acting there. Because it's a sort of guidance spin-off to the main story of Bubble Bobble, whatever that means. I don't really, like... Oh, Wondergate. Ah. Ah? Oui? Whatever. There was stuff there because there's some kind of connection thing. That's cool, Gibbon. He's trying out his peg leg, so he's going to be walking around. Okay, resume, continue, start, option. Okay, the buttons are confusing me here. Oh gosh, did I not set the buttons up properly? Oh yeah, it's a vertical game. I didn't even think of that. It's all going to be off. My controls are all going to be off because I've actually... So the emulator I'm using, I'll explain this while I try and fix things on the fly here. Oh boy, that's really complicated. Okay, so the Wonderswan has sort of two D-pads on the left. So you get all these buttons, and then there's an A and B on the right. So A and B actually aren't important to me. I can reassign those to something else. I need to change X. Okay, so that should be all set up the way I need it to be now. Yep. So the emulator I'm using doesn't support flipping the screen, even though that's a core feature of the Wonderswan hardware. Okay, now I've got it set up. So Wondergate, I don't know what that is. I assume it's some kind of link system for going between Wonderswan systems, but anyway, we'll go this one. Oh, okay. Hang on. Push start. Yes, okay, I got start, but that's not working. Is that working? Okay. Good grief. So X2 is accept in the menus. I just want to play the game, please. The menus are worse than the game, I hope. Okay, oh, a dolphin. Love it. Yeah, so Putty and her fairy friend Naughty are going to Rainbow Islands, I think, is the plot. I don't know why. Oh, Franck actually has a really normal voice. Well, I would probably base my interpretation on the earlier games, whatever voice clips I can get from that. Anyway, since the emulator I'm using doesn't support flipping the screen, I'm actually looking at my OBS window, and luckily you can rotate and transform the windows and stuff that you're capturing in OBS. So I've just rotated that 90 degrees. It's kind of a workaround. Putty, go! Yeah, so I don't really know who Putty is or her relation to Bub and Bob. Oh, I can freely choose? Well, anyway, start with Insect Island, just given to us in English. Means yes, like casually. And dammit means it's sort of a denial or negatory statement. ここはインセクトのワールドな。Yeah, they're going to the islands. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, Naughty's a boy because he said ore. Okay. All right. So finally, gameplay. Yep. Here's Putty. As you can see, this is not the Bandai Wonderswan color. This is the Wonderswan regular. So it's going to be all monochrome today. That's the theme. I tried, because when I was researching this game, it turned out that it was pretty short, so I thought maybe about pairing it to another vertically oriented platformer. I couldn't find a good one that would go with it. So I ended up going with the monochrome theme instead, if it gets to that. I mean, if I do really badly, I might not get that far, but we'll see. But yeah, when you think about vertical platformers, think like Ice Climber maybe, which does have one female character, but I think the default is Popo, right? Not Nana? Anyway. I guess that's Putty's catchphrase. Yeah. So the big irony of this game actually is that, you know, it's called Rainbow Islands. We're using rainbows as a means of attack and platforming. It's actually a cool little system. You can create a rainbow anywhere and then climb it, jump off it, and it also damages enemies. But we're playing it on an entirely monochrome system, like I said. We're getting 3 shades of grey in a rainbow. It's not very romantic, you know. Okay, so rainbows don't last as long if they're not on ground. Is that what I'm getting from this? Or maybe they collapse under your weight. Oh, I see. That star actually knocked out an enemy with a sort of projectile thing. Okay. Oh, it didn't quite make that. So Putty can jump a fair vertical distance, but the screen's orientation being so tall actually makes it feel good proportional to the size of the screen. I'm getting hints of somewhere over the rainbow in this song, which is appropriate, but also copyright infringing. Let me know if you're picking up that riff. I can sort of hear it a little bit. Oh, did we need the panty shot for the little girl? Of course she's wearing bloomers. Ganbaru. So like I said, the voice clips actually sound pretty good. They're not too compressed. There are some credits in the credits. Oh, auto scroller. Okay. Oh, I didn't know I could stack rainbows. Oopsie. Okay, I died. Oh no. Oh, bugger me. I thought... Yep, hang on a sec. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a big problem. I thought I had the emulator window in focus and I hit the save state button, but it turns out that I didn't. So I actually hit the stretch to screen button, which flipped it all back over. That's so dumb of me to do that. Okay, we're going to lose 1 vertical pixel of resolution, but that's the best I can do right now. And this works in the background. Yes, okay. Man, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. Move this window over. You don't need to do this. Just gonna put that over there. Okay. So we're going to try that again. Oh, why does it look so awful now? I must have been on a perfect pixel multiplier or something. Oh no, it's gotten much bigger. How did that happen? Yeah, it looks a lot worse. Oh man, this sucks. Transform. Full screen. Okay, that's fine. Does that look okay on your end? Yeah, we're gonna start that over again. But I've got a hang of it now, I guess. Yes, so... No, that looks awful. Why does that look so awful? Scale to window, scale to canvas. No, that won't work. It looked better before. Deinterlacing. Linear. Nope, that looks even worse. Disable. Yeah, everything's disabled. Whatever. I will continue. Ugh. Okay, sorry I've been a bit scattered so far. But we're gonna carry on. Yes. Oh, 1 hit and I'm down? Okay, that's how it works. This is really distressing me. Okay, gosh. Alright. I'm completely thrown off. I was talking about the voice acting, or trying to, for a little bit there. So what I've got in the credits is... can I stack rainbows? Yeah, I can, but they don't last long. Yeah. Okay, so Putty is played by an actress called Mayako Nago. Yeah, Mayako Nigo, sorry. Her name is Mayako Nigo. She's got a few credits for some games in the Idolmaster series, which is Sega's rhythm slash life simulation genre thingy. It's weird. Oh, really? You know what else I need to set up? I need to set up a rewind button. Because I'm such a scrub. This one? Nope. Hang on. Oh, Tony's correcting me. He's saying he thinks it's Namco. But then saying, how do I know that? I don't play it. Well, I don't know either, so we could both be right. Well, we can't both be right, but let's say we are. She also had a couple credits for a game called Arcana Heart, which appears to be some kind of fighting game. I didn't look too closely. the main thing was that she didn't have many credits at all. So, unfortunately, it seems that Putty's Party wasn't a breakout success for her. Although I guess quantity isn't necessarily an indicator of success. Gibbon's excited about the lifestyle changes. The peg leg affords him. That's cool. Yes, okay. And yeah, the only other credit on this game for voice is Naughty's voice actress. So I guess Naughty is a male fairy, but is played by a woman. And that person is Atsuko Enomoto, who, again, doesn't have a ton of credits, but a few that I recognized, including a very recent one for Fire Emblem Heroes, which I think is the mobile game for Fire Emblem, with all the Gashapon stuff. Yeah, there's voice clips in that, supposedly. Oh, evil water. Yeah, so if you know anything about Bubble Bobble, most of the time in all those games you're playing as Bub and Bob, who are a couple of little dragons. This applies to Puzzle Bobble as well, by the way, which is a spin-off, where you shoot coloured balls at other coloured balls to match them. Yeah, so Bub and Bob are little dragons. They're green and blue, but apparently they were transformed into dragons by a curse or something. Their real form is as two little boys, and that's who you play as in the original Rainbow Islands, which was much like this. You send out your rainbows and you climb higher. Actually, don't quote me on that. Anyway, I was too busy being fascinated by the Watara Supervision to do all the due diligence I really should have. But anyway, I do know that Bub and Bob, are dragons who are actually little boys, and that the original Rainbow Islands was on a system that did in fact support color. I think it was the NES, and thus it makes a whole lot more sense. Wow, this is really tough. If you go down in one hit, this guy has so many hit points. Yes, I do mean Buster Move. Thank you for correcting me, Tony. There are different regional names for the Puzzle Bobble games. Oh man. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I think I'm good here. I've got him trapped in a pattern. Oh, thank goodness. I found this exploit. Okay. I should be okay here. Okay, that was easy. Alright. Woo! Okay, that jingle almost reminded me of Rayman 2. By the way, did you notice the little container of French fries that had an upside down M on it? Shiawase. That means I am happy. Yep, she ate all that food. I guess all the food that we've been finding goes straight into Putty's belly. Good gag. Cute character designs too. I guess I'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's figure out if we have any items. I guess not. Yes, save. Yosh, sebstase. Cool. Thanks, Naughty. Oh, so that's Insect Island finished. There are 4 islands in the game, so we're a quarter of the way through already. How about that? Insect Island, Doze Island, Monster Island, and Darius Island. So you might recognize Darius as the name of another series that was published by Taito. It's a shoot 'em up thing. Arukunai do Arkanoid? Wait a minute. Are these all based on other game series? Waja Waja, Monster Island, Obakega. I guess that one might not be. What's he say about this one? Yeah, that's doesn't tell you much. Okay, well, let's see if we can identify any Arkanoid references here. I don't know much about Arkanoid, but I have played recently the mobile game Arkanoid versus Space Invaders, which is a pretty cool game. A lot of fun, actually. And it's based on... Well, okay, that was a pointless sentence. It has a lot of guest character appearances from other Taito properties. Of course, Taito is now owned by Square Enix, along with all their properties. So the one that I knew about before going in was the fact that Lufia from Lufia is in the game, and I think that's just because of the Square Enix connection. I don't think... Because like, it was published by Natsume, developed by Neverland. There's no Taito connection there, is there? Oh great, how do I get up? We're making flowers. Oh, okay, we can stack rainbows. And they collapse if they're not touching the ground, I think. Okay, so if we do this, and then, whoops. Okay. Starting to actually learn the mechanics now. And they're staying there, but then they disappear. They seem to be flashing more rapidly in this level. Possibly the Wonderswan can't handle drawing them all at the same time. Okay, we're going to get up to the middle of that platform. We're going to do it this time. Great. Good stuff. Save point. So, yeah, along with a lot of random characters that I had no idea of in Arkanoid vs. Space Invader, you do actually unlock Bob and or Bob as, yeah, selectable, like... It's not who you're playing as. They're like helpers that go with you and have power-ups and stuff. Alright, so it looks like we've got a new complement of lives coming into the new island that we're on, which is such a blessing. Oopsie. I've trapped that isometric pyramid thing inside the rainbow, and it's interesting. So if you impact them with a rainbow, you can destroy them, but you can also trap them. This is really weird and cool, the way the enemies in this stage is just sort of abstract shapes. I guess that is the Arkanoid influence coming in. I'm going to have to assume. Damn, really? A sphere that changes into a cube. Now that reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Homer goes into 3D space. Treehouse of Horror. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, okay. Panic. This really would have benefited from color, actually. But alas, it came out a bit too early. If it was on the Wonderswan color, perhaps, which, of course, was the successor console. I guess I'll talk about that now. So, the Wonderswan, you might have heard of Gunpei Yokoi, who was a really cool dude at Nintendo who sort of was in charge of the R&D 1 department. He was thus the producer on a lot of games like Metroid and I don't know, Mario Land, yeah, Mario Land, and the following spin-offs of that, like the Wario series, at least until he left. So he also was in charge of sort of designing hardware, so he was the father of the Game Boy, which was tremendously successful, and also the Virtual Boy, which was less successful. I believe that everybody involved has denied that the failure of the Virtual Boy was directly led to him leaving Nintendo, but that's what I always assumed, even if that's spurious. Either way, after the Virtual Boy failed, he left Nintendo and went to work for Bandai, who was a toy manufacturer. This is before they merged with Namco, of course. And while working there, he created for them the Wonderswan, which was, well, I've talked about it already. Similar to the Game Boy, they went with you know, slightly cheapish components to bring the cost down and make it accessible, which is why it's all in black and white. Of course, the successor, the Wonderswan Color, added color, of course. It's pretty similar to a Game Boy Advance, kind of. In fact, a lot of games that were originally on it were ported to the GBA, minus the orientation switching mechanic of the device. Oopsie. Okay. There's also new music in this stage, which is weird and interesting. We're just getting noises. I think the ability to make your own platform at any time is a cool mechanic. Although obviously it's temporary. It reminds me of Squidder the spider, that cool ass spider with the sneakers from off of Donkey Kong Country 2. Which is... Oh, hurry. I didn't know there was a hurry. Okay. There's a time limit apparently. So it seems that if I fall onto a rainbow from a height, it shatters. I think that might be the mechanic there. I'm hurrying. Okay, we made it. Yeah, so Squidder could use his spider webs to make temporary platforms in midair for you to jump on. Pretty interesting. Yes, Gibbon, that's exactly what I was thinking of. The Final Fantasy games, a lot of the earlier ones, were given upgraded ports on the Wonderswan Color, and those ports were then the basis for the advanced ports that came later. So, Putty, go! What was it called? Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls? Wait, no, that's not right. What was it called? I owned this game. I played it to death. Maybe it was Dawn of Souls. Anyway, either way, it was that and then 4, 5, 6 as well. They were all... Actually, okay, they weren't all based on... They might have stopped at 4 for the Wonderswan. This is another thing that I should have looked up, maybe. But not important. That's a tangent. Returning to the main topic... what was the main topic? I guess just talking about the Wonderswan. So, of course, Gunpei Yokoi soon after tragically passed away in a car accident. So, that was very sad for all involved. I see you can pick up items with a rainbow. That's interesting. Does this actually scroll horizontally? Let's test that. If I walk to the left, it seems like there's no edge to the screen, which means that it probably does just wrap around. And I found a warp that took me straight to the top. Isn't that nice? Yes, Gibbon confirming it was called Dawn of Souls. FF4 was on the Wonderswan, and then going forward after that, it was all GBA. So, yeah, thanks for that. Which means that 5 and 6 were original to the GBA, but just continuing that line. Man, Dawn of Souls was great. It added tons of extra content. There was an entire extra epilogue chapter, and quite a reasonably length chapter for 2, and a bunch of bonus dungeons for 1 that sort of took content from other games in this series and rearranged it in a way. It's really interesting. It almost reminds me actually of the ancient cave from Lufia, the way the extra dungeons were implemented in FF1. Because they weren't randomly generated dungeon levels, but they were randomly assigned. Like, you would get 50 floors to go through, and it would pick them at random, but it was all designed floors. Yeah. The Wonderswan's pretty cool. I've actually played a Wonderswan game on stream before. I played a spin-off to the Mega Man Battle Network series, or NT Warrior, whatever it's called. Oh, another boss time. This is quite Konami. We've got a Moai head, an Easter Island head type thing. Yeah, it's more a Gradius thing than a Darius thing. But I guess by this point it had crossed over into just being a general Japanese cultural touchstone kind of thing, maybe. Interesting how it was drawn in with polygons. That's kind of cool. And now you can see it has that wireframe look to it slightly. Damn. Yeah, I don't care about like making this a challenging experience. I'm gonna rewind whenever I want. Sorry if that bothers you. I just don't want to deal with crap today. Oh, bugger me. Alright, I need to stack up a few to get to a decent height. Like so. Whoopsie. Yeah, these I cannot deflect, like the enemy type things. They're just projectiles, I guess. There we go. Like I said, the rainbows are a cool mechanic. I like how they're implemented here. Oh, a big cake. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Get to it. Yeah, 10,000. Eat that cake, Putty. Gomen naughty. Sorry, naughty. Kanji something. Daiya. Nanatsu. Atsumora nakata yo. I don't know what that says. I can read the words, but I can't always interpret them. Cute. So I think that would be Monster Island next. Yeah, so Bandai owned the Wonderswan. It never actually left Japan. It was never released in any other region. Like Nintendo with their consoles, Bandai published a lot of stuff on the platform. So this one was not actually published by them, but by a subsidiary of Bandai called... what were they called? I wrote this down. No, I didn't write it down. Oh wait, you can see it on the box art that I've helpfully displayed on the sides of the screen, and I did that because of the vertical orientation. The viewing mechanism for... Oh, there is a border of the screen here. Okay, well, forget what I said earlier. The viewing mechanism for Twitch and YouTube is horizontally aligned, so if you're looking at this... if you're looking at this gameplay, there's either going to be huge black bars on the side of the screen, or I can add in, a bit of visual accompaniment, which will show you what the characters should look like in color. Although the actual character design is replicated pretty well in the in-game cutscenes, which are a good feature, and help you to, get to grips with the characters better and feel connected to the whole game experience. So well done there. Now, the character design. So when I was looking at the credits for this game and clicking on some names, a lot of them don't actually have many other credits apart from this. So it was made by a fairly small team in the company called Digitalware, with planning and production credit to Arowana, which is a company that otherwise has no game credits to its name, strangely enough. Oopsie. I don't know if you can only have a certain number on screen before they also start disappearing. Oh no, hurry. I don't want to hurry. This isn't a speed run. Obviously. Nuts. So yeah, like I said, it was published by a subsidiary of Bandai, developed by Digitalware. Arowana isn't otherwise attested, at least on Moby Games. Digitalware has a few other credits, but really not much either. So, oh yeah, that water is rising up to get me. please. I can't swim. Woo! Good stuff. So that's a dango, apple, cherry, a flower, grapes, a crown, chocolate. I don't know how you're eating a crown, but okay. Food and also treasure. Yeah, so this game sort of came out of nowhere in a way. It was contracted out by Taito to these sort of small-time companies for Bandai's console. Yeah, like the director, Shinya Kanafusa, it's the only thing that he's got credit for. Yu Aizaki, the character designer, this is her only credit. Oh, Yu, I think Yu is a girl's name. Don't quote me on that. There's a director listed, but also someone under direction. I don't know what the difference is, but I guess Kanafusa director is at Arawana, whereas the person for direction, Yoshiaki Goto, is working for Digitalware, so there were sort of two parties involved there. Two parties on Putty's party. Yeah, but yeah, so half the people I mentioned don't have any other game design credits at all. Boy. So the theme on the last world was like abstract shapes and blocks similar to an Arkanoid configuration. Here on Monster Island, we're getting, well, we got Draculas, so classic monster type characters, although this Dracula shot thunderbolts for some reason. I wonder how many we can stack in a row. Of course, it relies on my it relies on my timing and such. So what are these? Are these like gorillas, or they sort of had pointed ears, but they also shoot fireballs? I wonder what. Okay, I can stop the projectile with a rainbow. The rainbow, as you can see, also reveals hidden collectibles. A shoe. Okay. Don't go eating shoes, but if it gives me points, I'll take it. Maybe they're Frankenstein's monsters. Ouch. That Dracula is pretty dangerous because he can just fly in any direction and shoot thunderbolts right at me. Not limited by the geography of the stage as the Frankenstein monsters are. Yes, okay. So one of the names I mentioned does have a few recognizable credits. Yoshiaki Goto, who was a kind of a jack of several trades on this game. In addition to direction, he also did production on it. He's listed as a producer and also the scenario writer. And his other credits include Ninja Gaiden 2 and Mega Man 2, so some quite lofty pedigree there. Oopsie. Although he's not seen doing much after this either, unfortunately. Of course, there's tombstones everywhere as well. Classic. This would work well as a Castlevania themed stage, actually. Again, a Konami reference that is out of place. But hey, they don't have a monopoly on scary monsters and stuff. Damn it! The feel of the monsters, though, it just reminds me of like the YY World series or Kid Dracula, that kind of thing. Boku Dracula-kun. How many can I stack? I can stack a lot. Whoopsie. Oh, I see. So that rainbow actually absorbed the fireball and then it disappeared. Nuts. Ah, no. I'm so close. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, the point of all that was that the companies involved and the people involved weren't necessarily like super experienced designers, but I think they still turned out a really quality product. Yeah. Now, I don't think that Putty herself was in Arkanoid versus Space Invaders, which leads me to conclude that she hasn't had a lot of exposure after that, because if she's not in that game, which had, you know, everyone under the sun, then she's probably not in anything. But I don't know, she looks cute. The design is maybe a little bit generic, but oh, a ghost too. Nice. But I like that it's sort of a little team here with the fairy character. Not that he enters into the gameplay at all. Oopsie. Oh! Almost made that. Oh, this is pretty tense with the water rising up. Whoopsie. Okay. I'm saying whoopsie a lot. Heck. Oh, heck. Oh my. Yeah, cool stuff. Goal in. I'm not even gonna try and read this stuff, because this is now a speedrun. Yep, starting now. Oh, this is a big stage. Oh, spooky, upside down. We're getting on Symphony of the Night on this. We're going through the upside down castle. This did come out in, I didn't mention this, but it was released in the year 2000, so that would be after Symphony of the Night. I wonder if that's an influence. I'm gonna say yes. Heck yes it is. Jumping skeleton, nice. I thought it had only one eye, but I think it's just two cartoonish eyes close together. I think that's what's going on there. I want that talisman, man. Oh, it disappeared, never mind. No. I'm gonna climb and climb as high as I can. Okay, that's as far as I can go. Really? I hit that ghost dead on with that rainbow. Ghosts should be even more susceptible to rainbows than normals. Oh, okay, that got it. I'll continue from there. Whoops. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, that's definitely a Frankenstein monster. So what are the other things? Some kind of ape creature that shoots fireballs. What's a cliche monster that I can think of that fits that description? Oops. Here, there's one up on the next platform. Have a good look at that. What do you think that is? Try and interpret the character design from those little sprites. I'm gonna say it's a demon. Yeah, that works. Pointy ears, fireballs. Yeah, okay. Gimme says, oh, that's weird. Oh, what did I just pick up? It was a special power-up that gave me Naughty, so he does have a role in the game. What do you know? That's probably going to protect me from a hit or something. Whoops. Cool stuff. Oh, the diamonds. There's actually a counter for those on the UI, so I might as well pick them up. Oh, I see. I got to collect the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Of course. Oh man, I told you this stage was enormous, but yeah. Anyway, it's refreshing to have a vertically oriented platformer. Like I said, I tried looking up what other ones existed that would pair well with it, but I did end up just finding a whole bunch of interesting sounding games from it. Oh yeah, boss fight time. Oh, I thought those things were Draculas. This is proper Dracula. Big, big guy. Many bats. Luckily, Naughty's on my side. Having a little fairy helper brings to mind things like Wario's Woods. You thought I was going to say Ocarina of Time, didn't you? Woohoo! So I don't actually know what Naughty does for me. I'm gonna assume that he'll absorb a hit or a projectile or something. He did pick up an item for me just then. Good stuff. So that was Monster Island. Oh, really? Gibbon's going on a shopping spree. Oh, he's bought the SNES version of Wario's Woods. I believe that one was never published in Japan. And I still have nothing in the item list, so I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, I can skip past that screen. Yeah, I know the NES version was the very last officially licensed NES game to be released. The SNES version, yeah, much rarer because I'm pretty sure that it was never released in Japan itself. But it has a unique set of like characters, villain characters in the story mode, which is pretty interesting, including a mermaid who is different to the mermaid that's in the NES version. Weird. Given so it's got the NES one on Virtual Console. I've got the SNES one on my SNES Mini. Oh, I guess I hacked that on, so, you know, forget I said anything. It's all illegal. Alright, let's go to Darius Island. Yeah, it is interesting comparing the differences, like you say. And I think it's a cool game too because it's about the Mario B team. You're playing as Toad, helped by Birdo, and fighting against Wario. And there's a little fairy that's on your side that is not specifically named anywhere in the game or manual, but a couple of different manga adaptations have connected that character with Wanda the Fairy from Mario and Wario Game Freak's SNES mouse game, where you have to click stuff to make it happen while Mario and stuff walk around by themselves like Lemming style. So there's all these cool connections with that game that make me really appreciate it. So yeah, our enemies here are sort of robots and spaceships and stuff, fitting with the Darius theme. So I didn't know that this was such a like Taito crossover game, kind of. But that's really cool. I always appreciate that in a game. Crossovers is one of my favorite things, along with adaptations to other mediums. Oopsie. Nuts. That thing rapid fires all the way through my rainbows. I can't really deal with it. I'll just go the other way. Whoa, boy. Kill a tank, man. Let's try a different approach. We'll come up from underneath it. And then pow pow. Okay, never mind. Ah! Too smart for me, folks. How about this? Yeah, gotcha. And I'll take your melon or whatever that is too. I really should give Wario's Woods a good shot one of these days. Like I said, I put it on the SNES Mini, but then when I tried to actually launch it, I couldn't play it because there were like sound issues. The music didn't play properly, and it was really distracting. So that was kind of a bust. Like, it's easy enough to hack a SNES Mini, but it doesn't always have the best compatibility. So some games just don't work. Like Micro Machines doesn't support the second controller, and like there's problems with Uni Rally if you go in multiplayer mode, or Uni Races you might know it as, where one character gets drawn incorrectly over all sorts of places on the screen. It does warn you when you try and load up games that aren't compatible. That's not the word. Like reliable, stable. It warns you about it. And it is also possible to install third-party emulation software on the SNES Mini as well. Wow, that's a trippy background. Kind of a Jupiter Storm kind of thing. Oh, Gibbon is informing me of some Lufia adjacent news. The Rune Factory producer, Rune Factory is the company that Neverland stuff created, so it's the closest thing we have to well, it's the home of ex-Lufia developers, basically. So the producer of them has formed a sub-studio at Marvelous, which is their publisher of various things they've done recently. And their first title is apparently going to be a Switch port of Story of Seasons, or iteration, he says, so maybe a sequel. Yeah, my wife played Story of Seasons on the 3DS. She wasn't too keen on it. We had a lot of fun with Stardew Valley, though. Just speaking of farming games. But yeah, Gibbon says he's hoping for some Lufia stuff at some point. Well, like I said earlier, that is all owned by Square Enix now, so they would have to get the permission from them, but hopefully they do, because I would be super into that, of course. Oh, nuts. Yes, we are always living in hope for more Lufia content. The last thing we got was Curse of the Sinistrals, or Espilus. Oh, what was it? Was it just called Espilus in Japanese? Surely it had a subtitle. Anyway, the one on the DS that was sort of an action RPG kind of thing. Oh yeah, I never ended up getting all the Chaos Emeralds. Now we have one. We're not going to get all of them. That's okay. Whatever that thing is, it's pretty inscrutable to me. It was some kind of like chariot or something. Yeah, look at that. What is that supposed to be? Presumably, it's something from Darius. I've never played Darius. I'm not a big shmup guy. There's some shmups. There's actually quite a few shmups on my list to play through on this stream series. I'll talk about this later, but one of the roles, like accepted roles for female characters in games, is as a witch. So there's actually several shmups where you're like a cute witch flying around and shooting cute monsters and stuff. It's a subgenre unto itself. I don't know what Putty is supposed to be, what character role she fits into, other than just like cute little girl. You really don't need to be anyone special to throw rainbows out as an attack. I guess Bub and Bob are just cute little boys in that case as well, because they're not using their bubble-blowing dragon powers in that game. The original Rainbow Islands, that is. Ah, that's it. Lands Cursed by the Gods. Espilus, Lands Cursed by the Gods. Yeah. Because they're not called Sinistrals in the Japanese version, they're just gods who went evil. They're not like special class of beings, except in so much that gods are already. Yeah, thanks for that. Now what is this, a robot kangaroo? What is going on? I don't understand these characters, but that's okay. We don't need to understand them to kill them. Oh, that's dark. Let's not... Okay, it's backing up a bit. Woo! Getting punchy today. We're in space. Isn't that cool? I thought we were on an island, but apparently we're in a cosmic backdrop here. Taito, what else have they done? Of course, they're famous for Space Invaders and Bubble Bobble. If I'd paid more attention during Arkanoid vs. Space Invaders class, I would be able to tell you. Oh yeah, Mad Gods, specifically, says Given. Oh, come on. How do fireballs curve to follow you? That doesn't make any sense. Oopsie. I mean, herky-perky. Oh wow, now I have wings. That seems like cheating in a vertically oriented game like this one. I'm just off the screen, okay. Now what do I do? A flying power-up, that's cool. But overpowered. Hello? Isn't there supposed to be a treasure chest just anywhere? The screen's wrapping now? What's going on? Is this secretly a boss stage? What do I do? Ouch. Nasty thing. I swear this has screen wrapping. Maybe some stages do and some don't. Oh, secret door. Got it. So that was the answer. It wasn't a secret warp that I found that time. It was just the level exit. And now I've done it again. Cool stuff. Okay. I swear this is the same text every time. Maybe not. Okay, 4-4. This should be the last level, I think. Oh man, it's so big. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, I think this is a cool game. It's crying out to be on a more advanced platform, maybe one with a bigger screen even. Definitely one with color though, to get a good look at the rainbows, of course. And the backgrounds, which can be quite intricate at times. But yeah, an expansion on this game would be really great, adding even more Taito references, and whatever else they want to throw in, much in the same way of Arkanoid versus Space Invaders. Could be a way even to get more Lufia content, if we're going to go there. Stupid. Okay, do this, and then do this. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately, if we're getting any Bubble Bobble content these days, the last one I can remember was one on the 3DS. Or was that even Puzzle Bobble and not Bubble Bobble? Because Bubble Bobble, the original incarnation of it, it was a single screen platformer back in the early arcade days. And that kind of thing, I guess, just doesn't fly anymore. This is an evolution of the concept that came out not long after, but this game itself, being released in 2000, is actually quite a bit after the original. Of course, there were other Bubble Bobble games in the meantime, but I think in terms of Rainbow Islands, there was Rainbow Islands Evolution. I saw that on the list. When was that made? I can't tell you. But yeah, Rainbow Islands is like a subset of Bubble Bobble. Is like kind of an experiment they did, but they soon went back to making more Bubble Bobble stuff because it was more popular, I guess. So my point is that it's kind of surprising that this game ever got made in the first place, but I think it's pretty cool, and I'm glad it did get made. And whoa, warning, a huge battleship electric fan is approaching fast, in English. Wow, that's intense. Look at the detail in that sprite. It's totally at odds with the cute cartoony character design of myself, although I guess that applies to all the enemies in the stage too, which makes an interesting and pleasing contrast and, you know, dichotomy and stuff, so that's nice. Yes, exploits. These bosses can be easy once you figure them out. Maybe a sequel to this would also fix that. There we go. That was the final boss. At least I assume so. We'll find out in a second. But for now, we'll eat our giant cake and celebrate. Haha, これで全部の島のボスをやっつけちゃったね。So we beat all the bosses of the islands. やったなパーティー。この調子、what's 調子？調子でガンガン行こうぜ。So these were in the intro. Bobby. Oh, it's Bobby and it's Bub and Bob. That's what they look like, apparently. So they were involved. I completely didn't pay attention to the intro, so I didn't pick up on that, but they were there in the plot. They just weren't doing the game part for some reason. Cool. Okay. So is that the end? I've done the 4 islands. I got a little cutscene. Should I go back and do them again? Like, I don't know what the game's expecting me to do. Yeah, Given says, I have no idea what's going on. Neither do I. But, yeah, I guess I'll save. Yeah. I didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds. Maybe that unlocks, like, a different ending or another boss, maybe? I don't know. From the description I read online, those 4 islands is all there is to the game itself. Oh, we've been going exactly an hour. That's good timing. Yeah, so I guess we're done with the Rainbow Islands Putty's Party. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's cool and cute. But I did have a backup game, so I'm going to go to that now. Like I said earlier, I had a double feature planned with a game on the Watara Supervision called Dreamworld. So we're going to go ahead with that and have some fun. Maybe. Bing bong. All right. So I'll explain more about it as you go on, but you can actually see the console itself on the packaging that I've put on the sides of the screen. Let me just load up the game. It's not in the format they expect for some reason, but there it is. Supervision. So this is another Game Boy competitor, a bit more of a direct competitor, I suppose. It really tried to ape a lot of the decisions they made, including some of the hardware, instead of having new ideas brought to the table the way the Wonderswan did. But let's see. Yeah, so this is Dreamworld. It was made by Bond Treasure in 1992. We'll start the game and then I'll just continue to talk about what the Supervision is and what this game is. So the Supervision was a competitor to the Game Boy that was conceived by the Taiwanese company Watara. Now their watchword, their modus operandi for this device was budget, discount, bargain, basement. They wanted to make a Game Boy but even cheaper than the Game Boy. So when the Game Boy came out, you compare it to other handheld platforms that other companies were making, like the Atari Lynx, the Sega Game Gear, which, you know, they had color screens, they had more advanced technology, but by choosing to go with slightly more primitive technology, Nintendo could keep the costs down. They could make a machine that was more cost-effective and efficient. Like those other handhelds really ate up the batteries and stuff. So that was a problem. Watara was trying to make their devices even cheaper, so they decided not to do sort of distribution or marketing themselves, but rather they licensed out the Supervision technology to other companies in local markets. Holy hell, it's a giant kangaroo. Okay. Wow. That was unexpected. Okay. Yeah, this game, I think you can already tell that it's pretty primitive, but that's kind of the thing with the Supervision in general. Hold on a second. Let me just change over the screen here. Okay, I couldn't see chat for a minute. Yeah, so local markets would pick up the the Supervision to distribute themselves. So Watara was the original creator of the device in Taiwan, but your local market might have had a different name on the packaging. Like in the UK, it was Quickshot Supervision. In some markets, it was called the Hypervision or something else entirely. But yeah, a lot of the games were like this, in that they were kind of janky and not super well made, which is a problem. The sprite flickering alone is just insane, and you could tell there that that enemy impacted me and was dealing damage with every contact frame, which is annoying. No invincibility frames on my part, unfortunately. Yeah, so I think the main problem with the Supervision was lack of software support. So, alright, before I go in this room, I'm going to save the game, which is a little more involved than some other emulators I've used. This is the Watara emulator, by the way, for Windows. I'm running it through Wine. There's just no way to escape that attack, is there? What can I do? Can I sneak under its jumps? Not really. Gosh. Control L. That was a bad time to save, actually, having lost some health from that B. There doesn't appear to be a way to recover health. Oh no, I got a health pickup from that little nightcap guy earlier. Alright. Gibbon says this looks like a student project. Oh no. I can't go back. I guess I'll load the game until I get another health pickup then. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna complete this game. I don't think anybody else has a completed playthrough of this on YouTube. But if you want to talk about like obscure handheld monochrome games, this is pretty much the perfect candidate. Alright, so I'll save again, and now I can move on. Oh boy, no, point the other way, please. Okay. I think outlasting it with the rapid fire strategy is the way to go. If I stay here, I've already made that early mistake, so this isn't going to go well. It kind of has a rat tail and horns, so it's not exactly a kangaroo. It's like a demon kangaroo hybrid thing. Point that way, yes, okay. Wonder if the weak point is the head, possibly. Yeah, so as you can see, one projectile on screen, and if that projectile is getting eaten by an enemy, you can then rapid fire another one. I noticed a little sound there as I was hurting it, so it's possible that only certain parts of it can be damaged. Yeah, so lack of third-party support I was talking about. There's a couple of games that were made in the UK, maybe like 4 or 5, by this certain company. I didn't write their name down because it wasn't relevant to this stream specifically, or at least to this game. I'm going to start over and try and come in with full health because I think that's the only way I'm going to get through this boss fight. We'll just have to play perfectly until then. No problem. There's some pretty cute enemy characters in this game. The little quack duck thing, the nightcap guy. The bee's pretty boring, but yeah, I like that. Yes, okay. Yeah, so a lot of games were made by Watara themselves in Taiwan, a few in the UK, and the probably second biggest developer for the system was this, the creator of this game, Bond Treasure Co. Limited. They were based in Hong Kong, I think, and I found one website that I think was about them. It could have been a different company called Bond Treasure, I don't know. But if that was accurate, then they were around since the late 80s and they dissolved in 2001. But in the middle there in 1992, they threw in with the Supervision system and developed a bunch of games for it. So if I got this far, I'll save here, and then I'll save before the boss room if I make it that far. Yep. Good job I saved, huh? Didn't make that jump. Okay. Focus time. So yeah, Bond Treasure from Hong Kong. They made a lot of other games for the system, like I said, but no games for any other systems. This was their only attempt at game development, was creating things for the Supervision. Yeah, weird stuff. Okay, great. Nice. Round 2 time. Great. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? So the Supervision itself, it had, these local distributors, and as a result, it also had several different sort of release configurations. So the one that you can see on the packaging there on the side of the screen of my stream. Oh, damn. Really? That took a lot of health. Yeah, this box is from the European/UK release. I think it's European, but I found it in a forum that seemed to be hosted in Germany, but I think it's it's specifically the UK release. So, although it doesn't say quick shot on the cover, it might have it on the back or something. I couldn't find a back scan because I really wanted to know if this game had any kind of plot, if this character I'm playing as has a name. I couldn't find any of that information, so packaging complete scans are not forthwith, and I don't even know if this game came with a manual. Supervision games in the UK, they came in boxes that all had this kind of teal, like gross cyan looking wrap around the art. In the US, the games were released in these basic plastic blister packages. Excuse me. Hold on. So they had the same artwork, or actually not all the time. Sometimes the artwork was different. This game in particular has the same artwork between regions, but the US release comes in this, yeah, just like a plastic, like flat plastic container thing that you're supposed to cut open to get the game out, and the cartridge is just sitting there loose in it. Really cheap, like I said. That's, again, the watchword for the Supervision system. But yeah, I don't know anything about the story of this game. The game itself was not forthcoming with that. I sat on the title screen for a little while and nothing happened, as you can see. Okay, that was another new little character there. A flying pig of some kind, maybe? No, I thought the answer was to go underwater, but no, that's not the answer. The answer is to advance to the next screen. Okay. Oh, fire. What does that do? Does that give me a new weapon? No. Yeah, so I read that in this game you can unlock new weapons. Wow, a bear this time. So it seems our enemies are all going to be, at least our main bosses are going to be just wildlife. Somewhat unaltered from reality. Which again is an interesting contrast from the cartoony look of a lot of the other characters. So, I mean, I'm construing that as a plus, but it's really just inconsistency. I don't think it, like, it was kind of a clever choice in Rainbow Islands, but here, not so much. I don't know. Let's not disparage them too much. So, like I said, I couldn't find a lot of information about this game specifically. I also don't know the credits, so if we actually manage to beat the game, maybe we'll get a credits list and we can see who made this. Like, names, dates, places, ranks, serial numbers. Otherwise, I guess we'll make our own story for it. I found this game actually on a list of on Moby Games. Games starring psychic protagonists or people with psychic powers. So I don't know where they're actually getting that from, the fact that our lady character here is psychic. Maybe she just has an advanced hand that shoots rays, I don't know. But they're assuming that she's a psychic. this is... oh no, that's terrible. Oh boy, that's bad. And I didn't get the fire this time. Not happy about that. Well, I guess I'll save here. If we have to play this level again, it's not the end of the world. But my health is pretty good going into this. Yeah, oh wow. It's drawn the sprite over... I think it despawned a block here. So am I able to hit its head? Am I actually doing damage? I don't think I am. Yeah, some technical, interesting drawbacks there. Drawbacks has actually worked to my favor, sort of. Yeah, cool stuff. So yeah, I don't know anything about this game. The protagonist might have psychic powers, which kind of plays into another stereotype. I talked briefly because it was on my mind during Putty's party, the fact that sometimes women in media have to play specific roles that they've been assigned by the media overlords and by greater society in general. I did talk about this during the Brave stream, actually, in that I sort of had this theory that you see a lot of female characters with bow and arrow because, like, they're not quote-unquote allowed to have other kinds of weapons in the perception of, I don't know, marketing or whatever. Man, that didn't go well. I wasn't getting any feedback on the hits. Should I start again? I'll do it one more time from this save point, and then we might go back and try and enter this with full health again. And maybe get that fire power up on the way in. I don't know what it does, but it can only help, right? Anyway, I feel like, judging by the number of games where... So within the subset of games with a female protagonist, the number of them where the girl has psychic powers kind of suggests to me that that's one of the roles that will let you put a female character as the like protagonist of a game. It's one of the things that like is accepted for them to use to fight things, if that makes sense. A fire. We'll save there, I think. Don't know what it does, but it can't be bad. So, like, I'm not saying this is a good thing. In fact, it's not a good thing. The fact that you have to put people in, like, pre-made roles and niches based on their gender, like, that's specifically something that I'm trying to work against here. But yeah, it's just a trend I noticed that this game kind of fit into. I had a little subcategory for them on my spreadsheet, because you've got games like, I don't remember any of the names of them now, Psycho World. Anyway, there's a few. Needless to say, just go on Moby Games, go to the Psychics category. But yeah, this concept of characters with ESP, quote-unquote ESP, like what in Japan is referred to as espers because they have ESP. In like Japanese media, and I guess this is Taiwan, this is actually Hong Kong, but they're influenced by Japanese media, manga and stuff. Oh, I actually got a health pickup from that bee. Damn. And then I lost it again. I really need to conserve my health. Yeah, the fact that... Oh, seriously? Yeah, I guess my point was that this idea of psychic powers manifesting as you becoming a superhero, basically, and able to shoot like stuff out of your hands and things, is a concept that sort of originates in Japan, which that side of it is, I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying that's like a cultural trope that they use. Whereas psychics in Western media are more likely to be like purely mental powers, although they can also be superheroes, but not in the sense that they're flying around and shooting aliens with like rays out of their face. Okay, so here's the bear. It didn't despawn this block this time, so we're just gonna rapid fire it. I've already taken more damage than I like. I can move up and then move back, actually. As long as I keep shooting while I'm moving, it'll keep me looking in that direction. Yeah. So you gotta sort of time it. If you turn while you're not shooting, you will face the other direction, but if you are shooting while you move back, you can keep hitting. Oh, I've actually run out of continues. That's an issue. I'm going to have to use my save states a lot more often. So I don't know what's going on here, because I've picked up 2 of those flame power-ups. Oh, that's right. This game mechanic. Okay, so here's the thing. I have an ESP bar down there. That's not taken up by using any kinds of shots, but I can get extra different types of shots. Now, I forgot that I actually mapped the select button to circle, which I've just pressed now, and it's taken my ESP bar down a bit. So that's one of the mechanics in this game. You will unlock new weapons for your character here to use, but your ESP bar is not reduced by using those weapons, it's reduced by switching between weapons. So now that I'm on this weapon, I can keep using it. Okay, well, I've beat the bear. So we'll save at that point, even though we're continuing with the low health that I had as a result of... What? Bees! Okay. I have to be even more careful about my save states now that I've run out of continues. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I can get a health pickup at some point. This is the recon run. Yes. So it looks like this weapon shoots slower, but it was the only thing that could damage that bear. The bear was not making damage sounds when I was using the other weapon on it, so that was the answer. Had to randomly pick up fire weapon from random enemy. Oh, what? Can't go that way? If I can't go that way, then which way can I go? So this weapon is just a block. The arrow was a bit more dynamic. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. Okay. Dreamworld, everyone. I'm going to continue. Nice title screen. By the way, yeah, okay, I'll talk about this now. So, the Supervision is a monochrome system. Like I said, the screen it has is quite similar to the Game Boys, actually, in terms of the technology and the size. Even it's slightly larger than the Game Boy. If you notice, it's more like an actual square, whereas the Game Boy is slightly wider in the horizontal dimension. But it's purely monochrome. But the Supervision had a cool feature where you could plug it into a television, and that would unlock extra palettes, much like a Super Game Boy, but you didn't need an extra console or device to do it. You just plug it right in with something. Actually, I don't know what you plug it in with, but my emulator supports a few different palettes to make the game a little more lively than a straight black, white, grey thing. So we'll put it on black, white, grey to play a level and show you what it looks like. And it's not unappealing in its simplicity, but I wanted to use the extra colored palette as much as I could, because okay, so this weapon is the only thing that could hurt the bear, but apparently it doesn't hurt anything else. So we'll swap back like so. So now I got this one again. yeah, so we'll try another palette. There's fun names for these palettes in the Watara emulator. The one I'm on right now is called Bland and White. This one is Cabbage of Truth. So I don't know if the actual device had selectable palettes, but at least this emulator does, because you can also do a custom palette and change what colors are presented. Yeah. So the way it was described, when you plug it into a TV, you unlock a 4-color mode, which is what this is. Although this looks more like... let's go back. This is the one I think looks best, possibly. At least the most unique. The green one is a bit too much like what actual Game Boys are when they're green. What's the problem here? Maybe I have to fall down into an ocean? I don't know. Can't be. Boy oh boy oh. Oh, okay. That entire right section was a big red herring, I think. Okay. There was no way to progress from there, and I didn't pick up anything from any enemies, so we're back on the arrow. Oh, great. Back on the arrow, we'll jump over here, and we'll see where this takes us. I guess I'll save again now that I'm here. Can't be too careful. So yeah, this, if I saw anything about this game online, it's just acknowledged that it's a badly made game, basically. And I could definitely see that. The flickering, the awkward controls, just the mechanics aren't very well thought through. But you know what? Let's try and appreciate something about it. I'm gonna keep playing it anyway, get through it. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe I'll be the first ever to show the ending of this game on the internet. Did I do a double jump there? Or did I just pause in midair during a shooting animation and then keep going? Now, is this part wrapping? Trying to figure out this game's tricks. Okay, we're at the end now. Ugh, I gotta go back. Oh no, really? I'm trapped? Oh, great. Take 2. Kill the nightcap things, kill the bees, keep moving. Just continue. Has the music driven you mad yet? Well, give it time. Uh-oh, bad jump. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Oh no, okay, good. Those little nightcap guys are just so cute. There's no way I can insult this game that has a character that cute in it. I just wish I knew the player character's name. It really helps me to attach to a character. Oh great. Damn bees. Oh. But wait. Can I even make that jump? Maybe I can. But not with that attitude. Yeah, there's... Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can... Yeah, that's not gonna work, is it? Yeah, it's just kind of a slow, laggy, interrupted animation. It's not that I'm like double jumping or anything. Man, this game. It was, you know, professionally, quote-unquote, professionally made and released in several regional markets around the world. It had packaging art drawn by somebody. Actually, speaking of that, there are some other characters portrayed on that artwork, like the enemy characters. I'm just gonna look at that real quick. Yeah, I can see the bee, the one that's giving me so much trouble right now. There's a little yellow guy with a white face, and then a like red and white guy with green accents. Yeah, I don't know. Who is that supposed to be? Is the yellow guy the hat gnome thing? Possibly. Ah, bee, no! That's bugging me up. Alright, we'll make a third save state when I get to the jump of death. I think I'm going to learn to speedrun this game. I think it could be the next big thing. Alright, save here. And hope I get a health pickup at some point. Oh, nice. Almost made that. I've had a good feeling about that until it didn't work. See, I can stand just off the edge and make a jump when I'm over midair. Like a roll jump. I don't... Okay. Like... Okay, hang on. Okay, breathe. Alright, let's do this. She just stops when she hits the top of the screen, so the jump arc might not be enough to get through this. Maybe this game is actually not completable. Yeah, okay, this is a good time for me to look up a guide. Maybe see if anyone in the world has played this game before. Of course, the name is quite generic. We actually have a theme park here in Australia on the Gold Coast, which is in Queensland. Called Dreamworld, and looking up the Dreamworld FAQ just gets you theme park stuff. Looking up Dreamworld Supervision gets you to a news article where someone was injured at the theme park because they weren't being supervised. I even put a space in. Dreamworld game supervision. I'm still getting theme park stuff. This might be the furthest anyone's ever gotten, but I don't think anyone's gotten past this. Yeah, I'm just getting results for other games with similar names, and the Pokemon Dream World from Black and White with the online portal thing. Well, I'll have to use my own gaming skills to get past this. Maybe I picked up another kind of weapon that will help me. No, I didn't. I still have just the two. So that's not the answer. If I hold up when jumping... Ooh, if you hold the jump button, you just continue to jump. And look at the difference here. Standing still, that's my jump time, but while moving, while her sprite is being redrawn horizontally, it just takes so much longer. This is a very well programmed game, by the way. Hey Bob, welcome to being stuck on the 3rd level of Dreamworld for this Watara Supervision. It's really good to see you here. Bob's just wrapped up a really fun stream where he plays through the entirety of Cuphead, which is really a skill to be applauded considering the difficulty of that game. I tuned into it for a little bit. Whoa, what did I just do? Did you see that? Do you see how high I jumped? How did I do that? I think I might have cracked it, if I can figure out how I did that. Oh boy. Yeah, so this is a console that was a competitor to the Game Boy, but very cheap. And the games themselves are very cheaply made. I guess I didn't mention how many of the games are kind of clones. I mean, this is a console coming out of China, so you might expect some bootlegging going on. There is a game on the platform called Balloon Fight. It's not exactly the same as Nintendo's Balloon Fight, but it copies the mechanics exactly. You play as, gosh, what is it, like a dog who has a balloon, and your enemies are little birds who have balloons. But the mechanics are exactly the same. Just fiddle with the game a bit. Another one that I noticed when looking into this, and which I think I might have talked with Gibbon before about, is Super Kong, which seems to use the Donkey Kong style character design for a gorilla enemy character, although that character has a tail in Super Kong. And you're like a little boy who's climbing a vine on the other side. So the mechanics are almost sort of like Donkey Kong 3 for the Game & Watch, where you're shooting projectiles at each other across a play screen in the middle, and you're at either end, except you're on the right shooting left. Actually, that's the same as it is in Donkey Kong 3 for the Game & Watch, which is also playable in Game & Watch Gallery 4 for the Game Boy Advance. Notice how when I impacted this block sprite on the right, part of it was despawned or redrawn. Oh, I'm continuing to do it, yeah. Maybe I can delete this whole block and then just jump through. That's, man, this game. This game. All right, so I did a high jump before. I'm trying to figure out how I did that. Exactly. So I'm holding down the jump button, holding up does nothing, holding down does nothing. Attacking at different points. It's got to be something I can do. Down and then up and then jump. No. Maybe I can hold down. Oh, up is the same as jump, by the way. Like pressing the A button on the console will have the same effect. Maybe if I press both at once. So why is this game so ridiculously hard? Because I think it was just badly made, badly programmed, not tested well and rushed out to market. And yeah, they just thought people wouldn't care, I guess. That's a good question. I wish I knew the real answer as to why this game is so hard, but I suspect that it's a combination of those things. So yeah, the only way to get out of this situation is to fall in that pit and die, in which case you get a game over, and you start back from the start, title screen, and go back to round 1. Luckily I have save states in my emulator, so I saved before making this jump. It's just a matter of getting over the pit. So maybe this weapon allows me to jump better? Nope, not really. I did a big jump. I did it like a super jump. A double jump. Whatever it was. And I can't just look up a guide for this game because guides do not exist for this game. So this might be the premature end of the stream unless you want to see me just beating my head against this wall for a while. I mean, there's only a few buttons on the console. Oh, I can delete this block too, with my head. That's one of my psychic powers, did you know? We didn't even have a name for this character yet. I'm gonna call her... Ping. No, that's both derivative of Mulan and a boy's name. I'm gonna call her Superfly. I'm gonna call her Cuphead. Because her head can make cups out of blocks. I'm gonna call her Snipperclip. I do have a high score, by the way, out of the scores that I've recorded so far. Did you notice? Did I actually do a super jump, or was it my imagination? Alright, we're gonna try and make this jump the normal way. Okay, get a run up. It's easy. It's so easy. You just get a run up and then you take a jump. Okay, so it didn't quite work. But if I take a jump at the very last second as I'm just off the edge of the platform, I still don't make it. Maybe I can make it if I do a smaller jump. Oh, what happened? Did my stream fail? Oh no, it's still going. Okay. Gibbon, did you hear me talking about Super Kong? Do you remember Super Kong? Like, it's not a bootleg, but it's a game for the Supervision that uses like a Donkey Kong-like sprite. Imagine what a speedrun for this game would be like, says Bob. It would actually be competent, unlike what I'm doing right now. Presumably they would have figured out how to actually beat levels, which is not something that I've mastered. Oh, Bob, you missed it. Like, I've fought 2 bosses so far. No way. I'm so dumb. Okay. This game is cleverer than I thought. Remember before when I was like, maybe the answer is to fall into the ocean, and it killed me? This time it was the answer. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm very pleased. Oh, Dreamworld, you've done it again. I love you. Have my babies. Now, what's going on here exactly? This is not Super Kong, but this is a realistic looking gorilla, which is funny. Okay, this is doing damage. My fire weapon is... Yes, there we go. And we see each partial block of the sprite being individually destroyed. Lovely. We're making progress. Isn't that beautiful? Woo! We're having fun. I'm so glad we got past that. I didn't want to end the stream there. I wanted to keep going. Oh boy, the bees. The bees. The bees. The bees. Yes, given acknowledging Super Kong, he says it did look super. It looked super quote unquote Chinese ripoff. Yes, I agree because it is. If I recall correctly, it was made by the same company that did this, Bon Treasure. Don't quote me on that. It might have been made by Watara or someone else. But either way, Watara is Taiwanese. Bon Treasure is Hong Kong. So it's all China, even though, you know, Taiwan, let's acknowledge that they are unwillingly part of the Chinese governance political system. So freedom for Taiwan, yes. Awkward. Anyway, yes, not the bees, not the bees. Gibbons linked a video for Super Kong. Yes. Check it out. He says he kind of wants to play it. Well, this, what I'm playing right now is the emulator Watara, which is on Windows, and it's a pretty decent emulator. You know, not that I have had to run a little hack to get a controller working on it because I don't always have... Well, you know, I'm running it in Wine and then like controller compatibility and stuff, so the way that I've worked it out seems to be working fine, but it might be even easier for you since you have a PC. Gibbon says Super Kong is like if someone did a DK94 style update of Donkey Kong 3's Game & Watch iteration. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a good way to put it, actually. Although I would argue that it has even less features than DK3 Game & Watch. DK94 was like a huge expansion on the Donkey Kong formula. It's very much like, I don't know, like the amount of expansion it is means that it's almost unrecognizable from the original game. It's more like if someone did a Chinese bootleg knockoff of the DK3 Game & Watch. But yeah, and interesting that Kong has a tail in that one. Did you ever cover Super Kong on DK Gerda, Gibbon? I'll just plug the DK Gerda website again. Great place for Donkey Kong and early Mario coverage, as well as a couple other cool things like Saberman, Saberwolf stuff. Oopsie. And, you know, Crystal Castles, because why not? Ah, Gibbon saying he doesn't think it is covered, but it should be. Sure. He says, it's rough around the edges, but it does have better graphics and smoother movement. That's true. You can't get any less smooth than a Game & Watch, really, with its very discrete, quantized sprite states. Ah, yes, health pickup. Oh, another one. Lovely. Oh, but the bees! Not the bees! Oh, man. Let's have another look at the cover artwork. Nope, I shouldn't do that. I should play the game. I can't do both things at once. I'll just say I like the little hats. Very cute. Oh, Bub says he's actually looking for a Crystal Castles card. Haven't found one yet. Wait, I thought that was... Oh yeah, what system was that on? Something on Atari, because Atari owns it. They put Bentley Bear into Atari cart for the Jaguar, which is weird because he was the only like established character to make an appearance in the game. Everyone else was original. Yeah, the reason Gibbon covers Crystal Castles... Wow, the enemy erased all the blocks that I was about to stand on. The reason Gibbon covers Crystal Castles is... because it's... He considers it something of a spiritual predecessor to Banjo, because the cover artwork for Banjo seems to be aping the design and layout of the Crystal Castles cover, which is about a bear who has to fight against a witch, so there's a lot of overlap there. 5200 maybe, says Bob. Well, if you're looking for a card of it, you should know what system it's on, right? Actual progress. Feels good, man. Although, the difficulty of this stage is kind of stonewalling me at the moment. Pretty dastardly how the Hat Gnomes are riding the bees. Gibbon says, it's apparently a complete coincidence, but there's a lot of spiritual predating going on there. Yeah, and it's fun to make these connections even if they don't really exist. Do you cover Mr. Nuts as well? Remind me, because that was certainly a part of the greater, like, Conquer, Bubsy, Fanon stuff. But do you cover Mr. Nuts as a precursor to Conquer? It might be a little, like, late for the general purview of the site. Just as I say that, Gibbon's saying, I really should cover Mr. Nuts. It wouldn't be hard. There's only 3 games in the series. 2.5, really. With the SNES one ported to Game Boy. Sort of demade on Game Boy with, like, differences. So that's, like, another half game, sort of. And then you got Hopping Mad on the Atari. Great game. I streamed it. Check it out. Oh, did I ever plug the fact that this nice British man, like, made a retrospective video about Mr. Nuts, and he asked me if he could use my footage from my stream for it, and I of course let him. And yeah, the video ended up pretty fun. He talks all about the game, the history of it, focusing more on Hoppin' Mad, since his channel covers a lot of Amiga stuff, so that was on the Amiga. Was going to be ported to the Mega Drive, never actually came out, even though prototypes of it have been released online. I tried to stream that one time because it would be easier than doing the Amiga, and the game sort of soft locked for me 10 minutes in, and I had to scrap the whole stream in the last minute. And instead I did, I believe that was PC Denjin, which in English is called Zonk, Air Zonk. Yes, the spin-off of BC Kid slash Bonk slash PC Dungeon. That's a shooter. A punkic cyborg instead of a caveman guy. Oh, nutso. Seriously? Damn, I hate this crap. I mean, I love this game. What are you talking about? Yeah. So the supervision for you know, for what it is, like directly copying the Game Boy basically. Yeah, could have been better. With a bit of support. But yeah, whether it's the fact of the hardware being cheap or this company Bond Treasure not knowing how to handle it well. But either way, this game didn't turn out very well. Oh no, Gibbon's internet cut out. Anyway, check out dkgerda.com. Yeah. We've got some plans. What's the third Missed Nuts title? Oh, I was talking about the Game Boy port, which in the process of shrinking it down, it ends up being a little bit different with level designs and stuff, so it's like either the third game or the second and a half game, depending how you count it. Alright, I'm going to save here with a new state, not to overwrite the other one, and hope I get some health pickups. I think the highlight of this game so far was just seeing what the next boss design is going to be, what silly animal we're going to have to fight against with their weird motions, their erratic jittering across the screen. Nah, this sucks. As soon as you advance, the enemies just pour out. And then I'm at the wrong height to deal with them. But I get the 2 health pickups at the start of this level, so it's not too bad. Oh! Yep, there's one. There's the other one. Okay, so if I go from here, starting on that same save state. Okay. Oh no, yep, okay. So that's the first thing I need to avoid. I'll just memorize the patterns, it's easy. Gibbon says he'd argue that there's a decent number of differences between the Amiga and Genesis versions of Mr. Nuts 2 as well. I would disagree. I don't think the differences are enough to call them separate installments. If anything, the Mega Drive one just cuts out content, right? Although I didn't get very far in it, but if it's so similar, just with a couple of tweaks, like, I acknowledge the differences, but I'm not going to call them separate games. Although I think they had different names, but that's just a marketing thing. Like, on the Amiga it was subtitled Hopping Mad, but I think the Mega Drive one was just going to be called Mr. Nuts 2, possibly. Oh no, bugger. Gibbon says he's been meaning to catalogue the various ports of home console versions of DK Jr. and such. That would be an interesting idea. See exactly what the differences are, because there's a lot of them. I've seen some cool collages of sprites from different versions of Donkey Kong, of what Donkey Kong, what Pauline, what Mario look like on all the different versions. And there's some pretty drastic differences. So that could be an interesting project. Although Gibbon has a job now. Congratulations, by the way. So his free time is going to be a little reduced for DK Gerda projects. But I've told him a few times that I'd be happy to contribute on DK Gerda stuff. It just hasn't really got off the ground yet. We're working on a new podcast episode, on and off, that will be recorded at some indeterminate point in the future. But yeah, it's a matter of communication and having time on both ends. Oh, bees are the worst. They get stuck on you and then you just can't escape. Like Metroids, actually. Get stuck to Samus and then you just have to... I can't even morph ball to get away. Okay. Is it only certain enemies that have health? I don't know. I wish I had a better weapon. I found that one other one, but it doesn't do any damage to normal enemies. It only damages bosses. Oh, the bosses are slightly changed as well? Yeah, probably, maybe because the Amiga could handle scaling up its sprites and rotating them more than the Mega Drive could. They probably had to adjust the boss fights, yeah. But there's also these Mode 7 type flying stages in between worlds in the Amiga version of Mr. Nuts Hoppin' Mad, this is. Oh no, 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 no. Not seeing any more health pickups. This is a little distressing. Stuck on you like Elvis. Bob with the puns. Good one. Bob's also asking about the ColecoVision DK and DK Junior. Are they good ports? Well, he'd be the one to ask if he's working on that port project. Damn. I do know that Coleco made standalone like LCD game versions of DK and DK Junior. Although one was actually a rebranded or like licensed version of the Panorama version of DK Junior Game & Watch, I believe. If my research has stayed in my brain the way I wish it did. But that's actually a really interesting case. Because it's got so much color and because it has gameplay elements that aren't even in the actual game, it's like it adds to the totality of the game experience. It's, yeah, by which I mean it's got these like umbrellas and balloons that you can use as platforming aids that don't appear in the original DK Junior arcade game. So even though it is just one screen and it's set in the jungle area, it actually kind of adds something to DK Junior lore, if you know what I mean. Can I run across these? Nope, I can't. Oh, I found an alternate path. How about that? With the little duck monsters. Oh, seriously? I can't duck. I can't get high enough to... Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, that was close. Okay, I just need to time it right. And the bee, as long as it gets to that point and then stops, I can deal with it. Huh, okay. An actual shortcut. What do you know? Okay, now the issue is progress. I need to get down there before that duck approaches the stairs. Okay. It's interesting in a way fighting the, like, lackluster mechanics of the game. Just learning them and trying to master them. The answer with the bees, I think, is not to move forward when they're on screen because I think they stop in front of your face. At least they were in the tunnel. Nope, that didn't work. Totally Metroided me. I really should have saved some continues. I didn't know they'd be so limited. Yeah, there you go. So as long as you don't move when they're on screen. Oh, it approached when I jumped. Now that seems unfair. That's an interesting story, Bob. You're saying Coleco made an expansion for an Atari console and Atari sued them. And when Coleco was asked why they did it, they said, well, the technology was there, so we did it. Oh no, the shortcut is only in one of those chimneys, but which one? I'm gonna have to get there and then save state as long as I don't lose too much health. I really wish there was a quicker way to do that. There doesn't appear to be, unless I can... Nope, there's no control options either. Input. No, that doesn't help. That's just game controls. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, micro saving time. And now the test. And now the test. First pit. No. This might take a while. Second pit. No. This is just the kind of secret that old school games like to have. Third pit. No. First, second, third, fourth pit. Nope. I'm finding this oddly compelling. First, second, third, fourth, fifth pit. Fifth pit is the secret. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. So if I get that shot off at the height of my jump, I can hit a bee that's in the tunnel. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I didn't notice until now, but the sound's actually in stereo. I think. Oh no, there's no way I'm getting there before that dock. Okay, save. New save. I can't make this jump, can I? No, not even with my famed super jump powers. Yeah, what is this expansion that you're talking about? Bob says it makes Atari games look better, and Atari controllers work with the ColecoVision. It makes you wonder. Sure does. That's the whole era of gaming that I'm really missed out on. Like, I'm the generation after that, pretty much. So it's pretty disappointing. Excuse me? Excuse me? The bear's explosion took out the whole screen and I fell to my death. How is that fair? I was going to say that it's pretty disappointing that they reused a boss and it's just the bear again. But then they're going to have such a badly programmed game that the floor disappears and I fall through it and die. That's really annoying. But hey, it's also kind of endearing, isn't it? It's kind of cute. Like, oh, this game was actually released on a market and people paid money for it. Suckers. Okay. My sprites disappeared. Oh my friggin'. Okay. We're gonna get through this with more health. We're gonna jump when we fall through the floor. We're gonna keep jumping so that we take less damage, so that the level end transition happens before I run out of health. That's my plan. Okay, let's do it. Switching to firepower. This bear is going down for the second time. Oh no, no, no! I switched to firepower too early and the duck hit me. Okay, jump, 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 jump. Jump! Jump! Ah, oh, seriously. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? How are you doing, everyone? That might just be the end of the game, says Given. Possibly. Okay, so the plot of the game is the aliens from outer space came and they've brainwashed local animals into doing their bidding. The animals have the power to destroy the terrain of Earth. And Earth's special forces have sent in their best agent, Georgina, that's her name, who is some kind of psychic expert because she's half alien. Twist! She has alien blood, which gives her psychic powers. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Isn't this game great? And that bear, after I killed it earlier, this bear is the first bear's cousin, once removed on her mother's side. Okay, so this time I'm gonna jump. So there are areas that I can walk on. Do you see how I was sort of standing on a small lip and then I fell down? I wonder if... Okay, there's got to be another way to deal with this, and that way I can go into that fight with more health. That was not the way to deal with it. The duck backed up a little as I approached it, so if I... But it's still doing tons of damage to me because it's close enough to be in the hurt box, whatever. So if I go this, I can actually jump off the head of the duck. It's a platform, as well as doing damage to me whenever I'm in contact with it. Okay, so if I go like this, all right, that might be the maximum amount of health I can get. So I'll do another little save state when I get up there. We're going to beat this game. It doesn't want us to beat it. It's going to do everything it can to stop us just by being poorly programmed. But I'm going to get through that. Switch to fire mode. And this time, when the bear retreats, I follow it so I can be further across the screen. Okay. Yeah, I took a lot of damage, but maybe the positioning will help me. Okay. I think maybe I'll try... It might be more important to just have a lot of health at the end, so I'll try that. Oh man. Okay. I did get hit a few times more than was necessary there. Now see, here... Oh, I thought I'd landed on a point and then fell lower, but there's got to be something going on here. I can't rule out that the emulator is improperly programmed. We cannot rule that out. Because you just can't be sure, can you? Sometimes. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Okay, you all saw that. I made it to the right side of the screen. I had health left, but when I touched it, I died. So that's the end of Dreamworld. Thanks for joining my stream today. I got to the end of the game, and what an ending. Wow. I was impressed. God. Now, nobody has to play Dreamworld ever again. Hopefully the Watara emulator comes in handy when checking out SuperCom for the DK Goda site. Everybody go to dkgoda.com. And, yeah, thanks for joining me. I've had some fun today. I've got a little bit annoyed today at some bad games, but you know what? Putty's Party was good. It was a good game, and I liked it, and I think it was well made. As for this game, I played it, and it's done. So thanks for joining me. Next week, we'll be back with something else. So I hope to see you then. And yeah, bye.